What's up everyone, coming at you with our picks on every single NBA game for Sunday, February 4th. This video is brought to you by StumpTheSpread.com. That's where you can get all of our top confidence picks and predictions on every major sport. NHL picks went into the All-Star break up 72 units, and our NCAA basketball picks for Saturday went 5-1 overall. Get in there and get signed up, and let's all cash some tickets together. Do us a favor, if you want these videos to keep coming out every single day, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let's jump into the action. First game on the docket, we've got the Orlando Magic against the Detroit Pistons. The Magic come into this game 6.5 point favorites. Orlando has won 3 of their last 4. They just took down the Timberwolves in a close game. As we predicted, we were on Orlando +7 in that one. They're taking on the Pistons, who have lost 2 in a row. They just lost by 11 points to the Clippers. Actually a fairly competitive game if you're talking about the Pistons. Not really playing a ton of competitive games lately. That's not really been their thing as they continue to tank out this season. Cade Cunningham just appeared to kind of agree that he would maybe not hate the idea of being traded. The Orlando Magic are 17-10 against the spread when they're playing on the road this season. We like the Magic in this one. They want to make a case for themselves as one of the better teams in the East, and knocking off teams like the Pistons, taking care of business against the bad teams, that's how you do it. Orlando -6.5 is our pick on the first game of the night. Moving right along, the Phoenix Suns are 11-point favorites playing at the Washington Wizards. The Suns kind of let us down. Actually, they let us down in a really big way by getting waxed, well, losing by 9 points against the Atlanta Hawks. Not the best look for the Suns, who want to be a contender in the West. Maybe they just don't care about the regular season that much. I'm not really sure what their deal is, but they're taking on a horrible Wizards team who just lost to the Heat by 8. Actually a fairly competitive game for the Wizards, who are not a good team, but they ran into the Heat, who are looking to bounce back. The game before that, though, we saw Washington get absolutely obliterated. Washington, as a home team, not so good, only 7-16 against the spread this season. Do we really want to take the Suns as big favorites? I mean, they're in a bounce back spot here, so I think we're going to go with the Suns. Don't love this game. Don't know if this would be one that we're going to bet ourselves. I would guess not, but given this is a bounce back spot and the Wizards are terrible, I think the Suns will come away with a blowout win. So Phoenix -11 if you got to bet this one. Next up, we've got the Memphis Grizzlies playing at the Boston Celtics. This is a massive spread. We are looking at a crazy number of 16 points for Memphis. Yep, the Grizzlies are +16 in this game, and do we think it's going to be enough? I'm not really sure. Memphis just got absolutely obliterated by the Warriors. Memphis was playing at home in this game and managed to lose by 20 points to a Warriors team that really hasn't been something to write home about this season at any point. We would know. We were a little bit disappointed, but hey, the Warriors came through for us in that one. We had the Warriors in that game, and they came through for us big time, so appreciate that. The Celtics are actually in a bounce back spot in this one. They just lost to the Lakers in a very embarrassing game where LeBron and Anthony Davis didn't play, and the Celtics still managed to lose to their rivals, or I guess kind of rivals, in the Lakers. Pretty embarrassing loss. Don't love these huge spreads, as you guys know if you've been following these videos, but we're going to ride with the Celtics to get the blowout win in this one. They're in a bounce back spot. Memphis is absolutely terrible. So yeah, that's just what we're going to go with. Boston has been a pretty good team at home in general, and while that's a massive number, I just don't think we can go around it. I think the Celtics win this one by 20. Next up, we've got the Pacers at the Hornets. Indiana comes into this game only as 6.5 point favorites. That looks pretty suspicious, but when you look at their depth chart, you can see that Halliburton, Mathurin, and Turner are all listed as day-to-day. We don't know which one of these guys is going to sit and which one is going to play. It's looking pretty sketchy overall, though. Right now, I kind of think we're going to see Halliburton play in a limited role, playing limited minutes as he tries to get in enough games to not miss out on insane amount of money if he is ineligible to make an All-NBA team. We see Mathurin with his toe sprain. He's questionable. I think there's a decent shot that he plays in this game, but it's not the biggest deal in the world if he doesn't. Miles Turner has an ankle issue, which is pretty concerning. The Kings game was the second game of a back-to-back, so I think we'll see him play in this game. Either way, I think 2 of these 3 probably play, but they could be playing limited minutes, so that's definitely something we're going to have to take into consideration. All that being said, we've seen Charlotte lose not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6 games in a row. We've seen the Hornets drop 6 straight. That's not a great look. We also know that the Hornets, as a home team, are only 8-15 against the spread. We're taking the Pacers in this one. Hopefully they don't sit everybody. We don't know for sure. Keep an eye on those injury reports, but if it's anywhere around 6, 7, 8 points, we like the Pacers in this one, assuming that 2 out of those 3 players take the court. LA Clippers take on the Miami Heat in this one. This is a nationally televised game. It's going to be on ESPN. The Clippers just played a semi-competitive game at the Detroit Pistons. Not a game where we really think the Clippers had their foot on the gas. We see this game with a pretty weird spread on it, though. It's only Clippers minus 3.5. We would have expected that to be a lot bigger, but we're going to look at the injury report here for the Clippers. What we have right now is just Zubac being out, but this makes us a little bit worried. The Heat have been playing better lately, quite a bit better actually. They've won 2 in a row, but not against super impressive opposition. I mean, getting wins here against the Kings is okay. Beating the Wizards by 8 in Washington, though, that's not something that's really going to get me all excited. I think the odds makers are expecting a playoff feel in this game. I don't know 100% if that's what we'll get, but you've got Jimmy Butler playing for the Heat. Heat always have a chance. I don't really know which way we want to go with this one. As a home team, we've seen Miami be pretty terrible this one, going only 9-15, and I think we will see the Clippers actually turn it up in this game after playing a sloppy, not so great game against the Pistons. So not in love with this one yet. Maybe it'll grow on me throughout the day, but right now we're going to go with the Clippers. We like it a decent amount, not falling in love with this one though. Next up, we got the Toronto Raptors at the Oklahoma City Thunder. We've seen the Raptors really kind of nosedive lately, and they're on the front half of a back-to-back set. Not usually a great spot to be. The Raptors just got obliterated by 29 points at Houston, and now they have to go play at one of the best teams in the league, the Thunder. This is only a 10-point spread right now, which is kind of wild to me. We're definitely going to go with the Thunder unless there's some crazy injury news that comes out all of a sudden. There's nothing we're really too concerned about. Jalen Williams is supposed to be out, but that's obviously not a great thing, but I don't think that's a deal breaker. And against a Raptors team that's been so bad lately, I think we take the Thunder here. I think they get a massive blowout win and cover in this one. We like Oklahoma City a lot. Looking at the Houston Rockets traveling to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves, the Rockets just dismantled the Raptors like we were talking about. The Timberwolves come into this game fresh off a 2-point loss to the Magic, putting the Timberwolves in something of a bounce-back situation. This is not a matchup that I really like for the Rockets. I think Alperen Sengun is going to have difficulty going up against so much bigger and more athletic opponents. Sure, the Rockets have some solid guards, but the Timberwolves have some pretty solid defensive guards of their own in Anthony Edwards. We do worry about Mike Conley's ability to guard really anyone at this extended point in his career, but I think we have to ride with the Timberwolves here. They're playing at home where they're 12-9-2 against the spread. Not an amazing number, but Houston has been pretty abysmal on the road, going only 8-12-1 this season against the spread, and Houston just isn't as good of a team. This isn't a team that's up to the caliber of a competing team like the Timberwolves. Give us Minnesota to get the win and cover here in a bounce-back situation. That loss to the Magic cannot have felt very good. So we're riding with Minnesota and Anthony Edwards in this one. The next game we're going to look at is the Milwaukee Bucks playing at the Utah Jazz. Milwaukee will be playing on back-to-back nights. That's on no rest. Not usually the most fun situation, but for Milwaukee, it's been relatively all right this season. They're 4-3 against the spread. Not a huge sample size, obviously, so not something we're going to massively overreact to. The Bucks have not been having a great time recently, and neither really have the Jazz. The Jazz have lost 3 straight, including a loss to the Embiid-less 76ers. Not really what you want to see. I think the Jazz are kind of going to be victims of circumstance in this one. We're going to have to wait and see where this line actually settles at, but if it's close to even and there's no insane injury news, we're definitely going to ride with Milwaukee on the road in this one. They're just too good of a team. They need to turn it on now. Now is the time. They've got Doc Rivers at the helm. If he's going to do anything positive, he needs to hurry up and do it, or his tenure there is going to feel very wasted, and who knows, it could be very short. Giannis and company are clearly not ready to be waiting around for somebody. Take the Bucks on the road in this one. They need wins in a big way right now. I don't care that they're playing on back-to-back nights. In our last game of the night, we see the Portland Trail Blazers heading to Denver to take on the Nuggets. Portland and Denver just met a few games ago. This is actually the second game of a 2-game mini-series that these teams are playing in Denver. We saw Scoot Henderson go off for 30 points in the first game of this series in a 120-108 loss for the Blazers. Nothing much has actually changed here. We're expecting to see an essentially full squad for the Nuggets. I think they win this one in a blowout. They're not going to be messing around with teams like Portland. Denver's bench is better than half of Portland's starters, so they will run this one up. They'll continue to score a lot of points, and I think this will be a blowout win for Denver. Playing at home, they haven't been great against the spread. We're not too worried about that, though. Give us the Nuggets to get the win and cover on the road in our last pick of the day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Comment your best bets down below, and I will give you my honest opinion on every single one of them. I'll research them, tell you exactly what I think. I'll get back to you in the comments. I read and respond to every single comment. I appreciate you all watching the show. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Have a good one. Good luck out there. Hope you cash a lot of bets.